very briefly, Bill Dillon, Michelle Drive in Irondequoit. Very briefly, before I start my comments, I just wanted to congratulate all of you up here and to wish you the very best. Certainly, the hopes and the aspirations of our town rests on your shoulders for the next 2 years. And if you succeed, our town will succeed. And so I personally, and we all, I know, speaking together, wish you the very best. You are, in fact, the 5th town board that I will have spoken to on the subject of a community center since the year 2000. And I hope that this will be the last town board that I will have to speak to on the subject of a community center. As you are well aware, I believe, there has been a long process of study and vetting for a community center in the town of Irondequoit, beginning back in the year 2000. And 2 years ago, my partner Ron Cooper and I accepted a charge and a request from Supervisor Hammond to pull together a town-wide study involving as many of the community as possible and looking at the feasibility and possibility of a community center. And a group of citizens worked very assiduously for the next several months under the leadership when they studied the finances of Mary Ellen Jones, when they looked at the site selection under Rich Dantello, and under Chris Carden, a study group looking at the various components of a community center. Back in November of 2006, at the same time that we were doing our work in the community center issue, the library board had concluded that the best recommendation for the future of the public libraries in the town of Irondequoit would be a consolidated facility, one centralized and consolidated facility. And the Kings Park site became possible, and so from that point until now, much information and much study has gone on. As you know, there have been public meetings with information put forward, and very honestly, there's been a lot of misinformation put forward also. I believe that on the agenda tonight you will at least discuss the community center library issue at Kings Park, the proposal that we all heard back in May of 2007. Since that time, there has been a lot of vetting. Business people have sat down and studied the concept of a lease versus the concept of buying. They have determined that it is in the best interest of the community to enter into a lease concept, that there is no way that the town of Irondequoit could have the kind of facility, community center, gymnasium, and library, if it were required to purchase and buy that property and build that complex on its own. So due diligence and good fiscal management would recommend that approach to you. I can say to you that this town deserves a library of the 21st century. It is a town that uses its library, but the library facilities presently are incapable of offering the kinds of services that this community needs and deserves. I will say to you that this Pine Grove Senior Center offers many facilities, but it is totally inadequate to the programs that the seniors need. All 3 buildings, Pine Grove, Evans, and McGraw, are in desperate need of major investment in order to survive. It is unwise. It is not good fiscal management. Finally, I would say to you that the town also deserves a place where all generations can come together, the young, the middle-aged, the married, young families, and seniors, to have the kind of facility that celebrates the kind of community that Irondequoit is. I can tell you that there are a number of citizens who are for the best interests of Irondequoit, who are gathered together and will support you, will assure that the right information gets out to the public if you enter into the lease to begin that process at Kings Park. We will do everything in our power to assure the citizens of Irondequoit that they have the right information, the correct information, with no misinformation. But I do hope that this will be the 5th and final town board with whom I have to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Carol Mamato.